Welcome back everyone to Piney Plays Minecraft Pineridge. And I am way down here at the mouth of the bay where I thought I'd have a look at it to see if this would be a more useful place for Strand than the place where I spawned. And this does look very promising. We have this little island here. Actually, it's a bit of a long island, but this would make a good place for a lighthouse. It'll be a thinner lighthouse than the one that I have down in that direction. I have the original lighthouse, which I will think of as a point lighthouse because if you go down a little bit to the southwest here, you eventually reach a point where you have the straits that lead around here. So you have this cape, and the idea there is that the cape most likely leads to a location that will be where people have to navigate around. So that would explain why we have a lighthouse down there. Now, this is one of the two potential candidates for an alternate location for Strand, and this looks like it could work. The other point is directly north of here where we have the mouth of the river up there. That's another potential location. I figured that we could check those two out. In case you wonder, am I actually risking my map by taking it with me? Don't worry, I copied it before coming out here, so if I throw it into the water like I did last time, I know I did that off camera, but when I was doing the exploration thing, if I do that again, then at least I won't have lost all the work I did in collecting the information for the map. Now, this here then would be a good place for the harbor. And the reason why I'm thinking of moving it here is this feels like a better harbor here. This looks like it could actually maybe fit a ship, and we could put out some piers here and be able to dock ships there. And I think that will actually work. And since it's in a bay, I think it's more protected because the other location is way out on a point, and I have a feeling that if there are storms and stuff like that, it's very hard to protect the ships that are in there. And I think this would be a more protected location. So that's why I am thinking about moving Strand over to here. Since the only thing I've built there so far is a lighthouse, and a lighthouse is going to be needed at that location anyway. Won't be any loss. Alright, just want to make sure there wasn't any major cave system over there. Now, the one thing that we do have to note is that we've got all this forested terrain here, and we have this desert terrain here, which had me thinking about having two different nations controlling these two areas. In fact, that's the other reason why I'm thinking of moving Strand, was thinking that tariffs and the like will discourage there to be a major route going through the desert there if they could find a better harbor somewhere. And we have this. But naturally, this harbor is probably going to be shared between two cities here. So we're going to wind up with a twin city at this harbor. And that could make it interesting, especially since, let's face it, major places of trade such as harbors are probably ideal locations for twin cities to form. So I think that's what we're going to wind up here. Is therefore we're going to have our city of Strand that is directly in contact with Pineridge here, and we also have this version of which is probably going to have all sorts of trade from whatever commodities you get from the desert, which is going to be an interesting thing to look at. I haven't thought about what type of trade items will be in the desert yet, but I think making a desert nation will be an interesting thing to do as part of this, to interact with these others. And most likely there'll be a number of battle trade between what they have in the desert produced and what's produced at Pine Ridge. So I think that's promising up there. Now the question is, what route would be taken in order to get goods up from here to to and from Pineridge. And we have this river or inlet here. And we move up to here. Now we may wind up having to have a canal. The question is, can we get a viable canal system going on here? Now we do have that cave system there I have to explore at some point. Actually, I haven't explored a cave on camera much in this series. So what I'm going to do, I have brought a chest with me. And the reason why I brought a chest is so I could dump anything that was not vital into here. And that way, if I was about to do something that I thought was dangerous, I could switch all that out. I'll take a single pumpkin just in case I run to an Enderman. And that way, if I get killed, I'll lose the experience, of course, but at least I will be able to get most of my stuff back. And I think we got this here, this here, this here. Coal, we don't need the seeds. I will bring in the cobble. I don't need the shears. And okay, I don't need an axe in there, so therefore we'll do that. I know, it'll probably not be a real cave, right? All that trouble and a useless precaution. Yeah, okay. We leave that there now, but the idea is that I will have a chest where I could put things like that. So as long as I don't forget the location of the chest. I should have put the chest in a more obvious location, of course. But let's try a little bit more. The idea here then is if I can find something that is... Did I hear something? I guess not. And now this is the main river. And the idea is if I can get a canal that connects this... Now the problem, it doesn't look like a canal is going to be viable. So most likely, well, if there is a canal, it'll have to be dug in this direction. And yeah. That's a two-step lock. It'll probably have to be a portage then instead. So probably build a road here. Then the road can go to the river, and barges then could take you upriver to the Riverside Inn. The Riverside Inn can be where you unload, and once you unload, you are able to then head on down the road to Pineridge. Now here, that would be ideal, of course, for a canal. That's canal territory. That's screaming for a canal. But after that, I would say a portage. Right, so I think that'll work. Good. So this is one of the two candidates, and it seems like a very viable one. So I got a plan. I know what to do with the island. It's got reasonable protection. It's got a place where we could bring in at least one ship close, or maybe several longboats. Depends on the size of the ships in question. I think a small ship could fit in here, but a large one, I don't think so. So with that done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect my stuff, assuming I haven't completely lost it, and then I am going to go to the other location. Ooh, that's not good. Well, alright, I'm not going to do anything about that yet, but... What in the world? Oh. There've been a few fires around here, haven't there? Yeah, I was wondering whether or not I wanted to put this out, but... Seeing how many fires there have been in the area, I think it's time to get rid of the lava. Alright, it is getting... Oh, I put the bed in. Oh, that was stupid. Oh, good grief. Never put, never stow away your only bed when you get lost easily. Oh, my goodness gracious. Now, what in the world was I doing then? Well, then, oh, I don't have any wool with me. Oh, well then. That was a bunch of silliness there. Well, I did say that I needed to put it into a more obvious location, and that is the reason why. Well then, let's see if I survive this night. See if I find any of my stuff. It's probably near the tip of this place, right? Well, we'll see what I run into. One thing for sure, I am not going to get through this night unscathed. I can't even see anything. Okay. Tip 1 was save your stuff into a chest if you're about to do something dangerous. Tip 2 is remember where you put the chest. Tip 3 is don't throw your bed away. Oh, why is this lit? I hear spiders. Well, I need to get a few things. Okay. Let's see. I need a good place to make a stand at, that's for sure. Now, and there seem to be endermen all over the place also. That's really going to make things tough for me. Well, at least I kept the pumpkin. Because I kept the pumpkin just in case I ran into endermen and had no good way of I wish my mouse would better behave. Alright, now. I haven't seen anything yet. But alright, well, this isn't going to be a very exciting night. Tell you what, I will see if I could survive this night. If anything exciting's happened, I will come back, and if not, I will meet you at the other potential harbor location. I'll see you then. I am back, and I have found the location on the map that I was thinking. Actually, I was thinking before of the bit of the river opening to the east of us. But I was thinking this actually might be a better candidate than that. And this island here is a nice barrier island. It could be useful as a lighthouse for certain various circumstances. First off, to say this is where the town's located, plus to help guide into the sound here. And the sound is a nice place where I think we could bring smaller ships in order to dock. I think some small ships might be able to make it through into the sound. Obviously, large vessels won't be able to, but this is, I don't know if it's good for general practice, but I think the larger ships will have to maybe use another port facility over here. But they will also need less protection in the case of storms and the like, while the smaller ones definitely will need the protection of the sound if it came through. So that's an idea. Now, another nice thing about this particular location, it goes right by my original road. So we obviously have seen this location before. And it is next to this little thing here, which I must someday explore, find out what it is, and then, if it's nothing interesting, cover it up so I don't fall into it, because that's a death trap waiting to happen. Right, so that is, I think, a very good idea. And the other nice thing about this location is if we look at the terrain here, we've got this sea. Very much reminding me of the Mediterranean being surrounded here. I could see this area having ports all over the place, port cities trading all over, and then Strand will be the gate into the larger air into the inland areas going into Pineridge and the like. So that is an idea there. I just want to have one other look, and it's at the point of the river. Now this river I don't think is going to be very good in order to get to Pineridge, and yeah, I don't see it as being a huge advantage over the other location. I suspect that this could be another civilization here. So all these little city-states popping up all over the place. And maybe having their own little commodities that they have. So I have to find out what commodity each of the various city-states would have at its disposal. So Strand will have access to Pineridge and probably control the land all... Well, I don't know how much. Maybe a little bit also to the south and the forest area to the south. So it maybe also has control over that little inlet where we started at. We'll have to think on that. But I am more and more liking this particular area. I will spend a little bit more time thinking on that before I make my final decision. But right now, I am getting most curious about this little cave system up here. What is it exactly? And is there anything I can get for it? Now, this time we are on the road. In the middle of a location I could easily get to. Yeah, I know. I was about to say no way I could get lost here, but let's face it, we know that in no way is true in any form whatsoever. Oh, that's right. I was thinking, whoa, I had wool here. I could have made my bed. No, I couldn't have done that because that's from the sheep that are on this island, so it was well after the incident from last time. So you throw all that in there. Keep the cobble, same thing as last time. And the idea there is I am going to go down into here, probably first thing in the morning, so that this could also be my respawn point. So I can do a quick sleep, then go down. But I am going to do all the setup between episodes, and when we return for next time, we are going to actually go down here. I hear something. Well, apparently there is some sort of zombie down there. Well, what other monsters are down there? Are there more zombies? Are there creepers that are going to blow me up? Is there a bunch of pressure plates that if I trip on them are going to blow everything to pieces? Now you see why I want to take some precautions here. And hopefully I could do this in a better way than last time. But I'll see you next time where we are going to explore this little place underground. When we return to Piney Plays Minecraft Pineridge. Thank you everyone for watching this episode of Piney Plays Minecraft Pineridge, a vanilla Minecraft survival series. That is all for today, and this is Pineleaf News reminding you to mine responsibly.